Hello and welcome back to Tulu Hall Talks. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed. Thank you to everyone that has watched the videos and to everyone that has liked it. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. My hope is that if you're enjoying this conversation, that you will share it and that someone else might benefit from it. Just a quick recap. So I'm sharing the story because I am 51, I am single, I'm unmarried, and I've never been married. And as I've been going through the journey of life, I've felt like through my experiences, I could share, and maybe someone that's young can take one nugget and apply it in their life and not have to go through as much as I've had to go through. So quick recap. I came to England as a young 20-something-year-old. I met and fell in love with the man who would become my first baby daddy. I have two baby daddies, and I have no shame in saying I have two baby daddies because life happens, and when life happens, things change. And I don't want any woman to ever think that there should be shame in having more than one baby daddy. It's not what we set out for, as I'm sharing in my story, but it is what is a reality today. Growing up, we have these ideals and we have these dreams and we think life's going to turn out the way we plan. As a 14, 15-year-old girl, I would have never thought of myself as 51 single. But here I am. So I'm sharing my story to encourage someone that is young, someone that's going through something. As a believer, as a Christian, there's a scripture in the Bible that says there is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus, which means there's no criticism, there's no judgment. God forgives us, and we should forgive ourselves for the mistakes that we make. I had the most volatile relationship with this man. That was my first true love. He was everything I'd wanted on paper. He met the standards I had set out for the man I wanted as a young 20-year-old. Those standards have changed. Those standards have changed. Our relationship was really volatile. There was a lot of cheating. There was lying and really big lies. There was abuse. I was living in dysfunction. And looking back, it became something that I think I accepted. I had lived in dysfunction for so long that perhaps on the inside, something in me enjoyed the drama. Because, trust me, there was a lot of drama. Although I was emotionally broken, I was really emotionally broken with the cheating, discovering the lies that had been told to me. After having my baby, a big part of me thought, yay, this is the plan. We've got a baby now. He's going to stop. He's going to settle, and he's going to become a family man. And for the first year, I think I saw what I wanted to see. I truly believe I saw what I wanted to see. I remember being a mom at home on maternity leave. Now in England, maternity leave is a year, so I knew I was going to have the first year of my baby's life with my baby. And it was really exciting waking up, and we've got this little princess, and we're looking at our baby, and we are loving on our baby. It didn't take him long. It didn't take him long to disappoint me. And it started with him claiming he was going to be working over Christmas. And I shared that he was quite a possessive man, phoning non-stop, sort of needed to know where I was throughout the day, just constant control. But because I'm at home with the baby, I didn't let it affect me, because really and truly I wasn't doing anything. So there was no reason for me to be hesitant when asked, where are you, or what are you doing? But that Christmas Eve, I was waiting for him to come home. and he came home driving a car that wasn't his. It was a cute Audi, and it was a car that I knew he liked. It was a car that he was talking about, hinting that we should be getting an Audi. And he's come home and he's got this Audi. And I remember asking if I can see the car. And when I asked if I could see the car, he says, "Oh yeah, it's my sister's car." One sister, I know the sister. But his sister and him, their relationship is theirs. So this is the same sister who, when I asked how many children her brother had, asked me, "How many did he tell you?" So I go out and look at the car. The color was so unmanly. It was a green car. And I went out, looked at the car. Green car? Something made me open the back door seats. And there I see a little car seat, a child's car seat. Everything in me sank. And I thought, here we go again. Here we go again. Something that's not right is happening. I had got so embroiled in this dysfunctional relationship that we literally were destroying each other. So I had some words with him. He ended up leaving, driving off with this car, and then Christmas came and he came back home Christmas evening without the car. But again, the fight had happened, the dysfunction. It was at this point that I said to myself, this man is telling me to my face, telling me with his behavior that we're not meant for each other. Because you see, I've just had a baby. He should be sensitive. He should have been so sensitive to the fact that I was just enjoying the first few months of being a mom. Instead, here he'd brought another situation. I didn't push him, I didn't check, I didn't try and look through his phone or discover who this person was. I just began to make my exit plan. I began to think about my future, about what I was going to do with my baby, what we were going to do. Because of how volatile our relationship was and the type of person he was, I knew I couldn't leave by just going. I knew I'd have to leave after having clearly planned my exit. We trudged on a little bit, but at this stage, I'm avoiding any confrontation with him. I'm playing the happy woman. I'm so happy with my baby and your daddy, and I'm not looking for nothing that you're doing. But I was strategically planning my way out. He started to have a feel. He could sense he was losing me because he wasn't getting the reaction he wanted. But what he hadn't understood is that he had pushed and pushed and pushed, and finally he had broken me. But in breaking me, it wasn't, and I think sometimes when people think that, oh, you're going to be broken in a relationship, I think sometimes we think when you're broken, you're left on the floor, collapsed, you can't do nothing anymore. Instead, when you are broken and there's nothing more that someone can do to you to hurt you anymore, that is the beginning place of finding your strength. So he sensed that things were happening and I wasn't feeling him anymore, and decided to arrange a surprise night out for me and him, which is a nice thought had he been a sincere person. So got my sister and her friends to come and babysit, and just came home and they surprised me. Oh, you going out? I got dressed. First night out with the baby. We went to a restaurant. We'd eaten. We just about almost finished our food, and I just felt like I can't even pretend, because at the end of this night he's gonna think, oh, we're in good books and something's gonna happen. But I missed my baby. I missed my baby so much. I'd only ever been away from her when I was going to bath. Or when she was sleeping and I was downstairs doing something. And so I told him I wanted to go home and be with my baby. And this whole grown 6-foot+ man says to me, it's not fair. You don't care about me since you've had the baby. It's only about the baby. You don't care about me anymore. And it hit him. It hit him that his spell was broken. It finally hit him that his spell was broken. I tell you what, this man could just now come home middle of the day with a bouquet of flowers. He was trying his best to manipulate me as he'd done in the past. But I'm going to be honest. I tell you, my daughter came to save my life. She really did come and save my life. Because I looked at that child and I thought, I'll never let him lay hands on me again. My kids will never, ever see her mother in this broken state again. I'm going to have to pick myself up. And as I was having these feelings, I was getting, the guilt coming in. Like, you grew up with a mother and a father. Your parents were both there in your life. Why now, when he's willing to be here, do you now don't want anyone to leave? So I was going through a lot of guilt. I will say to any woman that is alive, never stay for the children. Never stay just for the children. Because I have seen children in the field of work I'm in who have come from broken homes where parents were still together. And there was no love in the marriage. There was no more respect in the marriage. And that has an impact on the children that is quite devastating. So I was looking at my little baby and I was thinking, she's so young, she won't even know. And when I meet a new man, she'll get to know him. So slowly, I planned my exit strategy. And I arranged with a close friend that I was going to move town. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you this, I had no idea where I was going. I just knew I had to leave. I just knew I couldn't be in the same town. I couldn't be in the same city as him. I needed to get away. And thankfully, I had a friend who happened to have, this is the way life works, when something is meant to happen, it happens. I had a friend who had a flat in a different city, didn't even live in that flat himself. He lived in a totally different city. And along the way of having conversations with him, he found out that I was looking for somewhere to stay and offered his flat to me. I had a friend that was willing to pick me up with a van and pack and put my stuff in a car and take me. So one day, unknown to him, I had every single thing packed up, put in a removal van, and I moved towns. Threw away the SIM card I had, asked all my friends to throw away their SIM cards, and everybody to just start a fresh page. I told them to never tell him where we are. Nobody to ever give way. The people that were the closest to me definitely would not have told him where I was. But I moved in the dark of night. He came home from work and found an empty house. I wasn't even there for him to call and shout and scream and say anything. I'd taken my power back, and I'd taken our baby. Yeah. You see, No woman should be trampled on. No woman should be abused. No woman should be repeatedly cheated on. No woman should be tolerating a man that is lying, even about the number of children he has. You see, this man thought he was so smart. He thought he'd found a doll that he could play with. And because of how long I tolerated it, he may have thought he could do it forever. But having that little girl gave me all the strength I needed. Having that little baby gave me all the strength I needed. And having her meant I had someone. I was leaving, but I wasn't alone. I had my person. And she gave me strength watching her as she learned how to walk and to talk, and just her future, just looking at her and dreaming for her, gave me the drive to go back to university, gave me the drive to go and achieve degrees, do my master's, sort of move on in the work and the job that I do. That little girl is now a 20-something-year-old woman. His family, when I left, contacted my family to ask what was going on. Where was I and where was the baby? And my mum, like I said, I think in one of the episodes, my mum really liked him. But now my mum had a lot of attitude toward him. My mum did share with his family that we were okay. And it wasn't until 2 years later, and he'd been to almost everyone that knew me looking for his child, did I then get in touch with him and allow him back into his daughter's life. But you see, the difference is that this time, him coming back into our life wasn't coming in as a lover. It was coming in as the father of my child. And I could be respectful because with him, we created one of the most amazing children I've ever met in my life. And so he came back into the life. And I'm not going to lie, when I used to see him and I thought he was just this amazing, gorgeous, tall man, seeing him now when I had my power back, I saw him as nothing. Still wasn't anything. He had to catch a bus to the city we're in to come and see his child. Couldn't afford to pay for a hotel room for himself so that he could spend a couple of days with his child. It hit me at that stage that God is always going to have a plan. God is always going to reach out to a woman and help, as long as we believe in ourselves, as long as we can look our self-worth and see that we are valuable, we matter, and no man should ever treat us like we don't. When you can stand up and look at yourself and say, I deserve to be loved, truly loved. I deserve someone to value me and put worth on my life. When you begin to look at yourself and you think, I'm not accepting that anymore. I'm not taking that anymore. I was young, but now I'm old. That is when I gained my power. And with gaining my power, my confidence came back. I would go to work and I could see that I was back. Work was good. I was succeeding in my career. And I went out with a couple of friends one night. And there was a man. Again, ladies and gentlemen. A tall man. 6'3". I think he's 6'3", 6'4". And our eyes met. Join me.